I didn't uncover my partner's past all at once. It didn't come crashing down in a moment of revelation or betrayal. It started in whispers, in shadows, in the quiet spaces between everyday life. A pause that lasted a fraction too long. A laugh that didn't fit the moment. A glance that lingered where it shouldn't. These were small, almost invisible, but they settled in my mind like dust in the corners of a room. Harmless until you notice how much of it there is. Our life looked ordinary from the outside. Coffee mugs on the counter in the morning, the faint hum of the dishwasher at night, shared meals eaten with quiet conversation, predictable routines, quiet evenings, plans that assumed permanence, as though the world had stopped changing. I trusted my partner because nothing had ever tested that trust. It wasn't blind faith. It felt earned, like a slow accumulation of proof over years. I believed in us because there had been no reason not to. The first crack wasn't dramatic. It happened in a conversation about childhood memories. A city was mentioned, then corrected mid-sentence. My partner laughed it off, saying, "Memory played tricks." I laughed too, dismissing the moment. I didn't want to be the kind of person who catalogs inconsistencies, who counts mistakes, who searches for hidden meaning where none was intended. I told myself it was nothing. Later, a name surfaced. Someone from before me, insignificant, fleeting. My partner froze for a fraction of a second, then smiled and carried on. I felt it, though, the tension, the hesitation. But I told myself I was imagining patterns. I chose trust deliberately. I buried doubt and called it maturity. I didn't want to poison something good to quiet my own anxiety. But buried things don't disappear. They wait. They grow in silence, and one day they surface, dragging the past with them like a tide you never noticed rising. Certain years were always summarized quickly. Certain topics redirected with ease. Stories were polished, rehearsed almost, the way actors memorize lines. Answers came calm and measured, delivered as if they'd been prepared long before I asked. It wasn't just memory lapses, it was intent. But what were they hiding? Or was it just a life rebuilt quietly, like a house after a storm? I noticed reactions that didn't fit. Sirens outside made my partner tense. Public spaces triggered subtle scanning. Exits noted without thinking. News stories about arrests shifted the mood instantly. Alone, these details meant nothing. Together, they formed gravity, a pressure I couldn't ignore, though I tried. My partner became more attentive, more careful, more affectionate. It felt like compensation. I felt guilty for doubting someone trying so hard to be good to me. I didn't start digging for drama. I started because not knowing felt worse than guilt, because every unanswered question pressed like a weight on my chest. I promised myself I'd stop if I found something harmless, just a little secret that didn't matter. But curiosity, once sparked, is not so easily doused. The first discovery was subtle, an old name, an alias tied to records that didn't match the life I knew. Arrests, charges, dates, facts that existed, cold and indifferent, whether I wanted them to or not. The screen displayed them plainly. It didn't accuse. It simply told the truth. And truth, I learned, doesn't care for timing or tenderness. When I confronted my partner, I was given a partial truth. One incident, a mistake framed as distant, resolved, irrelevant. Shame explained the silence. Fear explained everything else. I wanted to believe it was over. I wanted to believe people could change, could outgrow mistakes, could rebuild themselves. I clung to that belief because it was all I had left. But partial truths are illusions. The rest surfaced in fragments, through court documents, police reports, and the stubborn evidence of past actions. They were clinical, devoid of mercy or context, listing acts and consequences in cold, sharp language. Reading them was like watching a life I didn't know unfold in front of me, like standing outside my own reality. My partner hadn't just hidden a mistake. They had rebuilt themselves around it. New name, new city, new life, me included. Shock didn't hit me like lightning. It came quietly, hollowly, like a room draining of sound. I nodded, asked questions I didn't feel present for. Tears came, but later, like delayed echoes. The confrontation was fragmented. Fear of losing everything. Shame. Desperate justifications. I understood the logic. Emotionally, I felt detached, like a spectator in my own life. Afterward, memories rearranged themselves. The secrecy, the caution, the distance I had mistaken for depth. Trust didn't shatter. It rewrote itself, demanding a new language. Every memory gained a second meaning. Every gesture, every smile, every late-night conversation, now haunted by what I didn't know. We didn't end things. We existed beside each other, sharing space, sharing silence, letting the truth live between us, unresolved. Love didn't disappear. Safety did. Certainty vanished. Every day became a negotiation with reality itself. I didn't lose my partner that day. I lost the certainty that love alone makes someone safe. I lost the illusion that I could ever know another person completely. And in its place, I gained something quieter, stranger. The knowledge that the person beside me is real, but the story I believed in never was. That life, even lived closely, holds shadows we might never illuminate. And sometimes, learning the truth isn't liberation. It's a weight that never lifts, a presence you carry like a silent companion in every room. The past is not gone. It lives in small hesitations, in eyes that flicker differently under stress, in memories that suddenly feel lighter or heavier. I see it now, in the way my partner reacts to the world, in the careful measurements of daily life. And I have learned that some truths are not meant to destroy. They are meant to live quietly, reshaping the contours of who we are, who we trust, and what love demands of us when perfection is impossible.